What is the fastest way to get insanely good at copywriting? I mean, you make more than a week than most people make an entire year. And how do you do this without spending a bunch of money on courses, without learning at, say, like your client's expense, and without spending years learning the craft? Well, in today's video, I'm gonna show you all my secrets, videos, and strategies that I've used to go from writing $5 an hour campaigns to creating over 1.3 million sales for my clients. Hey, what's going on? I'm Jules Dan and I'm a freelance copywriter and the host of the Top 150 iTunes podcast, Storytelling Secrets, and now this YouTube channel. If you are a coach consultant, you will learn how to get more customers, make more per customers, and get them coming back with the power of the pen. Definitely want to stick around to the end of this video because the last tip combines the first two tips and it will turn you into a really dangerous copywriter. Even if you don't write copy for clients and you just sell products or services and you just want to sell more, definitely stick around until the end. Okay, so tip number one, you have probably heard this, and that is to handwrite proven sales copy. Bit of a backstory. So when I first started writing copy, it was March 2020. I was made redundant as a personal trainer. I had to get really good at doing something to make some money. First things I did was to find some sales letters, handwrite them, and I would do that every single morning. I heard that was a good way to get good at writing copy. So every single morning I'd wake up, write something out, handwrite it, put a little number next to it, underline it, and then just sort of deconstruct what would happen. I would do that for 3 months straight, trying to get good. And that's how I worked my way up from the bottom at the very beginning. And in the rest of this video, I'm gonna show you a few different really cool ways you can find different sales letters, analyze them for yourself. And by the way, if you're someone who also bootstrapped their way inside of the business, I wanna hear about it, and the best way to do that is just to hit the like button and let me know. All right, so currently there's two ways, the two best ways to do this is to handwrite copy. You've got old sales letters and you've got new sales letters. So let's start with the new ones and some of the pros and cons. So obviously with the new ones, you're gonna have a really good time of finding what's working well. How do you know that? Inside your Facebook feed or your Instagram, if something is popping up all the time, you have a pretty good chance of knowing that it's converting quite well. Whether you just see that one offer that comes in and then you never see it again, you know, maybe not. For example, I've been seeing this dude, Tanner Chidstetter, I hope I said that correctly. His ad has been running for months now. It's the same thing, 27 ROI on your Instagram ads. That hook has just been going like clockwork. So if you can find something that's very similar like that, that's a great idea to go and model. Not only are you gonna get better at seeing copy that's working really well, but you also get to do a lot of really good market research. So instead of going out to the marketplace and doing all this research yourself, this copywriter, whoever has written this ad, has pretty much done it all for you inside of this sales page or this ad. So have a read through, what are the pain points, what are the frustrations, what are the fears, and then that is going to give you a really good indication of what's going on in the market. Really nice bonus. Another really good bonus tip about finding proven sales letters that are working right now, especially that are coming back in through your feed, is that you get to see what makes an irresistible offer. And in my future videos, I'll talk about how to create an irresistible offer. But just keep in mind, if it's running over and over again, you definitely want to keep track of what is in the offer. Now, obviously, there's a lot of pros and stuff that I've given with handwriting a modern day sales letter that's working. What are some of the drawbacks? Well, first off, you don't actually know, they're probably testing this all the damn time. So they're putting out hooks, different ideas, just to see what resonates best and gets a better result. You don't know what they're throwing out there is crap. So take this all with a grain of salt. While it's being advertised on Facebook, it might not be really reflective of what's good copy or what's going on in the market. So just keep that in mind. All right, so this is the juicy part. So how do you actually find these on demand? Maybe you don't have these on Facebook. Maybe you don't get the right ads in your feed. The best place to go is to a place called swipes.co. And this is where you find old sales letters. And this is exactly how I started. All it is, it's this encyclopedia of really good sales copy. And you can find something called controls. What they are is that no one's been able to beat this sales page. Okay, people have thrown at it, different ideas, different leads, different offers, but the control is the one thing that no one's been able to beat. So it's got the best response. So that's the thing that you want to be able to hand copy. Massive benefit when you're doing this because you know that it's been tested, it brings in results, it's brought in customers. All right, so keep in mind some of the drawbacks with some of the old sales letters, and you might be thinking this right now as well is, well, that's old. No one's really talking about this anymore. That offer's irrelevant. Maybe even some of the ways that they talk about are a bit redundant. Some of the persuasion tactics and techniques, they're a bit pushy or manipulative or whatever. That's cool. The thing you want to look out for, especially when you're handwriting this and you're underlining stuff, you put a little number, is that you want to look through little different persuasion techniques that they're using. How they're building desire, what stories are they using, how long is the story, what are the benefits they're using, what are the bullets, how many bullets are they using, okay, how they're wrapping up the offer, what's in the PS. All these little different persuasion elements they're using, that's timeless. And if it's been under control for years now, definitely keep note of these. When you're handwriting these, analyze them and teach it back to yourself basically with your little numbers at the bottom of the page. So let's just say you're writing down here and then you find this really nice little chunk, underline that, and the bottom of your page, you'd be writing, okay, so in this PS, I really like this because they use this technique and blah, 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 blah. That's how you get really good at writing with old sales letters. Okay, the second way to get insanely good at writing copy, and I know this doesn't sound sexy at all, but it's to write every single day. I know, it sounds awesome, right? I get it, like it can be pretty tedious to write every single day, and that's why I want to give you permission to write really badly every single day. Yeah. So when I first started, I had 30 people on my email list. There's just no one, and I would write to them twice a week. That was my bench line. But I knew that by getting into the habit every single day of writing, I'd give myself permission to write those bad emails. Because think about it, like you're writing 7 days a week. Let's just say you're sending out twice a week. You have 5 times in a row, 5 days to write bad stuff, okay? And 2 out of those 5 can be good enough. The whole purpose though is that you're getting into the habit of writing every single day. Because it doesn't matter how many copywriting courses you take, YouTube videos you watch, courses you take, did I already say that? Or coaches you go see or whatever. Nothing's gonna get you better unless you're actually writing, because it's called copywriting. Because yeah, you have to actually put the reps in, just like anything else. You have to put your fingers to the keyboard, pen to paper, whatever it is for you. You gotta write every single day. Even if it's a simple email of just what happened in your day and then tying it back into what you do for your teaching. I'll go into this in more detail of how you actually come up with more ideas and turn your everyday life into a story and a good piece of content that your clients and your list can relate with. But just for now, 5 to 10 minutes every single day, if you can sit down and be a consistent writer and get into that habit of being, I'm the identity of being a writer, you're gonna get so good really quickly. All right, and the third and final tip is to hire a copywriting mentor. Now, I know this might be a bit loaded for some people, it might be too much financially, you've been burnt before, I totally get it. And in future videos as well, I'm gonna talk about how to find the right copywriting mentor so you don't get burnt, you find the right person the first time. Because I was quite lucky in that regard, but then going back, I deconstructed some of the lessons why it worked out so well. But anyways, the reason why you wanna find an awesome copywriting coach who's gonna look through your stuff, vet it for you, give you feedback, is because practice does not make perfect. Whoever said practice makes perfect is an idiot. And let me give you an example. Okay, let's just say that you're learning to play a guitar and you're just strumming downwards, okay? And you're learning all these songs by yourself and you're just strumming down, down, down. What's gonna happen when the songs get much faster and the melody picks up? Are you just gonna be strumming downwards? That's a bad habit that you've learnt. But if you had a teacher to show you from the beginning, he would have showed you like, hey Jules, when you're actually playing, I want you to go down and up on this. And that's what I mean by with finding a copywriting mentor. Like, yeah, they will pick up how to write better, but there's gonna be times where you read a copywriting book or you read some technique or persuasion tactic and you get all excited and you put it into your copy, but it doesn't convert and you think like, why did that happen? Well, the reason is that there's probably some bad habits that have just come up from, your whole life from writing. For example, for me, one of the biggest things that I had, worst habits that I had was tangents and going off on some tangents without even trying. I thought I would try and be witty, go on some side stories, but that's just how you lose the reader. And that took me a very long time to get out of my writing. I still do that a little bit, but it wasn't until like feedback, Stop going off on tangents where it finally got into my head like, okay, this is a bad habit, don't do this. I know what the bad habit looks like, stop doing it. And it's just a blind spot. So if you can find a mentor who can help you, who can look through your work and give you feedback, and I don't mean some Facebook group because everyone's kind of got an agenda there, just someone that you pay a decent amount, they're a good copywriter, they know what they're doing. I'll go into future videos about this, but that is probably one of the fastest ways. You combine those first two things, which is handwriting copy, which is writing every single day, and then having a mentor to look over your work. That is one of the fastest ways you can get insanely good at writing copy. All right, to wrap things up, I want to ask you a question. It's going to help everyone else watching this as well. When was the last time you bought something, say off a sales page online, but you didn't even need to read the copy, and then you swept out your credit card and bought it? I want to know what that product was. If you remember it, drop it down in the comments below. We'd love to hear it. It's going to help everyone else out. Not only just because of the research, but like I said, if you find proven copy and you can handwrite it and it made you buy, that's a really good thing. So make sure you go click over here now, and that's going to go to my next video of how to craft an irresistible offer. It's going to piggyback off this video really nicely. I'm Jules Dan. Thanks for watching.